out. But okay, Happy New Year, guys. Well, welcome back to Potential Meets Passion. I mean, I've been gone for a while, but it's not that really long. Okay, so the explanation to why I left was basically I just needed some time to recoup, reconsider, reborn, and rebrand my life's decision and where I wanted to go with this. Obviously, you guys know that this has gained attention, and when I started, I only wanted Potential Meets Passion to be a platform where I get to talk about my opinions, which I have a lot. The core of what Potential Meets Passion is helping you to realize your potential and to do it with passion and live your life's purpose. Like if you know that you're inherently a blue purple star and you ever wonder how bright you can shine, then yeah, this is it. Bright enough to charge an EV car with solar panels. That's what I mean. So yeah, this is also an update from my 4-month-long sabbatical on what I've come to want Potential Meets Passion to be. So New Year intention vibes. First of all, it's about mastering your relationships with others, yourself, and most importantly, your emotions, right? Because the emotions drives our action. It drives the majority of who we are and how we act and what we choose to be. Second of all, it's manifesting into your personal unique power. And this is what about like shining the light inside you is about. Is first of all, you like need to know what your light is and how do you like manifest into that, right? The third and the last is surrendering and co-creating with the universe and others, which means partnerships, collaborations, not giving up and letting things flow and be instead of forcing things to happen, whether you're creating a businesses, applying for jobs, having transitions in your life. There is a flow in life and we gotta understand that we are not like a control freak. We let things be and we believe and have faith that we're on the right path, right? So these 3 things are what I've found in every people who are living like a life with real well-being. Like what's the point of having all the money and no families to spend time with? Or having all the money but absolutely no power to create the social impact you want in the businesses? Or having all the social statuses but living life in anxiety and as a control freak. Man, that sounds familiar. Yes, so this is the platform where we provide tools through storytelling and interviews for you to live in alignment to your purpose. Yes, well-being, good life, achieve goals, shine your light, okay? So if you love what I said, then follow my Instagram at anniesmpk because I want to focus on running just one account. I know we had a Potential Meets Passion podcast account, but I got other stuff to do than just posting on 3 different Instagram accounts. So if you love Potential Meets Passion, just go follow me at anniesmpk, my personal IG, okay? So today we're going to be talking about anxiety because it's a bitch. Well, it keeps us away from living in true alignment. Duh, and that's why I want to talk about it. So welcome, anxious people, to this episode. I just want to acknowledge you that, people who are anxious just really love to plan and wanting things to come out the right way or the way that they envision it to be. So that's why I said, yeah, it's ambition, that's where it comes from. I'm born super anxious. Like I am at the point of life where my system is a Google Calendar, a bullet journal, and using Asana project tracker. Yeah, beat that, nerd. If you know me in real life, then I peel my lips all the time. This is an OCD compulsive behavior, and I'm always spacing out, thinking about the next move. Yeah, so anxiety for me manifests in the physical body as well. What do you think yours is? Some people pee a lot before a test. Some needs to go running and call it exercise. By the way, I'm not doing a video podcast anymore unless for special circumstance because, dude, I love fully expressing like this. Like, just close your eyes and imagine my face. Thanks for listening to me, even if I'm not beautiful. Jokes, I am. My voice is amazing, okay? So This is also like a proactive movement to get people off from their screen instead of thinking that entertainment is on the screen. It doesn't have to be that way. All right. So, talk about camera anxiety. No, I don't have camera anxiety. I just have preferences in creating art. There is a big preference, I mean, there is a big difference between preference and anxiety. The difference is fear. And this is what anxiety is about, not feeling safe. You know, those sleepless nights, insomnia, I want to go home even if I'm around my best friends, waking up to constant worrying about something, obsessive thought patterns, panic attacks, not being able to trust that everything is okay. Sometimes it comes out in a form of control. Other times it comes out in a form of total procrastination. I experienced all of it. Yes, I grew up in a very turbulent, chaotic, unstable household. I mean, my parents aren't divorced, but I've seen some divorced kids with more stable homes. It's not like my parents threw knives at each other, but my mom is also a very anxious woman. How can you tell if your mom's an anxious woman? Well, if she says, don't do this 5 times a day and doubts everything that you do, like, are you sure this is good? Then she's probably anxious. It's not just my mom, but we're literally bred in a fearful society. Anxiety is anxiety is environmentally induced. If your mom's anxious since you were in her tummy, then you probably got that from her as well. It's contagious. Just think about COVID and the news in 2019. When countries go to war, they don't use physical weapon anymore. It's just expensive, okay? They use mental weapons. And it creates the same psychological effect, which is fear. You know, during lockdown, fear was more contagious than COVID itself. It runs the world, especially in cities. We're constantly conditioned to worry whether we'll make it to work on time. There's traffic, there's people on the street aren't so nice. We're always spending money and worrying if we'll have enough, you know. The system, the lifestyle, the living requirement conditions us to worry. So, yes, anxiety is very environmentally induced. But I've also found out from my personal experience that it's also past life induced. This isn't gonna apply for everybody because beliefs, but just for those that are interested, I've done a few past life regression to know that like fuck, I was running away from a lot of dangerous things in many lives, and my soul remembers. It remembers when I was hunted down. It remembers being scared and worried if I'll have a place to sleep. I mean, before I got into past life stuff, and I used to be an atheist, guys, I kept having repeated dreams of being chased and hunted down by someone slash something or a group of people. And that's also where my sleep paralysis came from too. Yeah, so if you're naturally an anxious person, you might want to get that checked out. Anxiety doesn't only affect me in sleep quality, right? It affects me in making choices and my perception of the world too. When I was vibrating in fear and worry, I would only stick to one group of friends because I felt safe. It affected my social skills. I isolated myself. Like, I wouldn't want to share my life with my family because I thought they would retaliate or put me down or hate me. I didn't feel safe sharing. I very felt like I belonged in my family, and when you're scared, it's just naturally hard to accept and receive love. Like many people in the city, I was also a workaholic because I was scared I couldn't make it in life. You know what I mean? I would try to move around connections and people I didn't genuinely vibe with, but knew was good for my work. You know, like getting into politics was a big part of it. And mainly it came from the fear of not being recognized by my family and the society. It came from wanting to influence. And I got myself in even more dangerous situation like sexual harassments because I was attracting danger by believing it was real. But I wasn't really conscious about the danger I was attracting, you know? I was conditioned to fear life, so I gotta make it. and I was fake because I was scared. So guys, have sympathy on fake people. They're just trying to make it. Anyways, you got me. I think a lot of people made their career choices based on fear, covered in hopes, like I did. Fear of parent disappointment, fear of not making money, fear of not being accepted in society, fear of being in danger, not being successful, fear of not having enough, so we betray ourselves. I mean, this is not a bad process, okay? You can only be lost before you are found. And literally 90% of the friends I was vibing with when I was in the frequency of fear all naturally disappeared after I seriously dealt with my anxiety. Like, people say your network is your net worth. So if you want to change your social circle, change yourself. So your choice of friends, career, and money, and the way you treat your family depends on the amount of fear level you perceive to exist in your life. Okay, this is my argument, right? This is also one thing I hate about marketing. Like, I gotta say this because I'm a brand strategist and a market consultant. Like, marketing in this world just derives on fear and scarcity. I mean, I make marketing strategies based on impact and community building and shining the business light, not scarcity. I don't want people to focus on that. Just watch out for the brands that are trying to play with your fear, your lack emotion. It's a no-no. Fear is a very powerful emotion. Here's one thing I discovered about anxiety through my own experience. So in October, I went on this yoga teacher training course on the beautiful island of Koh Phangan, southern of Thailand. We would train from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the morning, like Monday to Saturday, right? And so you see, like, I have only 3 hours break every day, including like breakfast, lunch, okay? So, and also, like, I had to eat vegetarian, guys. Like, this was the one thing I never thought would be possible in my life. Like, I turned vegetarian and I hated vegetables, okay? I hated it. Anyways, we barely had time to think about eating, so I just had to stuff food in my mouth anyways, just so I had energy to go do yoga. And in the first week of class, I caught myself spacing out so often, just thinking about work, money, and all that security stuff. I couldn't focus or be in the present. I know it was just like anxiety, but you know what can you do when you see that, right? This didn't go away until one day I was just staring at my teacher, blabbing, and my brain was getting foggy. Right after class, I sprinted out, feeling like, shit, man, I need to get out of here. I just can't be here anymore. And then my other voice was like, what are you running away from? And I couldn't even answer. I mean, I went down during my lunch break, lay on my bed, and saw the thoughts through my head. It was like, what if I can't do anything with my podcast? What if I'm unemployed forever? What if I have no value in life? And I thought, wait, thinking about work was just a facade. There's a deeper fear beneath. I'm actually scared that I have no worth in life. And it was reflecting through my perception of who I am in my workspace. And usually I could react to this fear by doing more work. But as I was training yoga, I couldn't. I was there to train yoga. I couldn't run away from my fears, and I had to just sit there and listen to it in yoga class. I couldn't react to it by starting a podcast episode, writing my marketing offers, doing marketing strategy research. I just couldn't do what made me feel safe or what my conditioning of safe was. Which then was that my definition of safe was to do better work, earn recognition and money in exchange. It was never to be with my feelings. Because when I was forced to sit there, my body wanted to get up and run away. I wanted to run away from myself, guys. I mean, how many of us have experienced that before? This is what we do. We have so many distractions and tools nowadays to help us feel more safe. For example, just reach for that phone when we don't feel comfortable, right? But all we have to do and start doing is just sitting with our anxiety to discover a deeper part about ourselves within. Man, I learned how unworthy I really felt about myself. And anxiety was just a symptom, not a root cause. You know what I mean? If you operate in fear, then it's not your real potential. And here's the catch. Fritz Perls, MD, the psychiatrist and founder of Gestalt therapy, says that fear is just excitement without breath. The only way to get through fear is to transform it into exhilaration. This simply means that in every fear, there is hidden potential to turn it into excitement and action. Like, imagine yourself going on a roller coaster. Fear is when you go on it and you close your mouth, holding your breath. But once you scream, breathe, and let it out, that transforms into an excitement energy. So yes, I would argue that fearful or anxious people are capable of being highly, highly ambitious, of transferring that scare energy into something that is so high, like you've watched Monster Inc., right? When Boo had to or the kids, they cry and then the energy is filling up the tank. In the end, in Monster Inc., they make the kids laugh instead, and then the tank is still full. It's the same type of energy, just different on the scale. My fear was that I'm gonna be useless and never get to use my real potential in work, which drives me to overwork. But once I saw that in my face, I was like, wait, what if I still do the work, but as if that fear doesn't exist? What if I'm never useless and I'm already using my real potential in work? What if I can surgically remove my fear conditioning level and the perception of what fear is in my life? What if the fears I know isn't true? So basically going through a soul surgery of removing the definition of fear in my life. And that's when I start getting excited. I'm not saying living fearlessly is a good thing. Humans need fear as primary survival. But how many of our life's threats are actually threats? Are we actually aware of what fear means and how it runs our life? We think 23 WhatsApp messages is a life threat, but actually it's not even a tiger staring in front of our face. There are real life threats, and it's our job as intellectual beings to separate which ones are constructed by our ego and which ones are really going to kill us. And some people say, then what if I'm scared that someone's gonna hurt me? Or if my lover is gonna cheat on me? Or if my business is going to collapse? Ask yourself if it's actually an external thing or X doing something to you. Or is it if someone hurts me, it means I'm weak. And you're just scared of being weak. Or if your lover cheats on you, you're actually scared of being dumb or getting betrayed. What if you're scared of commitments? The fear we experience nowadays is always personal, never external. It's rarely the outside to blame. But it's us. We're scared that we cannot survive by ourselves. We're scared that we won't belong on Earth. But really, there is a mountain inside you that is waiting for you to rest yourself there, okay? So, the next time someone says, don't be anxious, it's better to ask yourself, how can I transform this into excitement? Don't suppress your fear. It's a powerful mechanism. It's also a resource from your body. Fear can automatically come from not feeling supported from the external world, but once you can know that you are internally capable of turning that fear into supportive energy, then dude, nothing can stop you. You won't rely on external supportive sources anymore. You're not a victim to the environment anymore. And that's when you start tapping into your real power. Is it really that easy? Well, I would say anything about exploring our emotions and transforming it into something useful takes practice. You don't go to the gym first day, expect yourself to lift 100 pounds. So, whose New Year's resolution is to work with their fear and turning it into something actually good for you? And that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you in the next episode, and let me know if you like this one. Don't forget to rate me on Spotify so other people can find useful content, and give me a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you guys. Bye.